G'day guys, Darren here. I'm actually doing this video and I'm going to upload it, but I'll probably release it later. So this video is being done the night after I actually uploaded my last video, but I may not release it for a couple of weeks. I might just let it sit private. I wanted to show you guys this. This is Underbelly, the Golden Mile. I've actually bought the whole Underbelly series and I've just started watching them all, as you can see here. Now, why this particular one here, the Golden Mile, really sort of struck me is, I'll tell you a bit of a story. I'll put that back. I'll tell you a bit of a story. When I was 16, I decided I didn't want to live at home anymore. I was living up here in Coolum Beach, where I am now, and I moved to Sydney. I got on a Greyhound bus, left Coolum Beach. Now, my friends here that live in Coolum, that that watch my videos, I know they'll remember me doing this. I was 16 years old and I had a friend of mine who was in the Navy, and he was living down in Sydney, and he decided that I decided that I was going to get in and flat in with him, bunk in with him. He was living in Glebe at the time, and I got down there, and obviously he wasn't home much because he was always out at sea, or he was on, at the naval base doing whatever he did. And I actually went looking for work. And when I saw this Underbelly series, let me just show you again. It's called Underbelly, the Golden Mile. Now, any of you guys in Sydney, you're going to know what the Golden Mile is. It's actually King's Cross. Well, I was 16 years old, and I've always been sort of a robust, sort of a burly bloke. I was actually working as a doorman in Sydney at one of the strip joints when I was 16 years old, believe it or not. I was working at a place called the Love Machine. That sounds a bit weird, but it still exists to this day. Now, here's the trippy part about this. I'm watching this, right? Now, this is based from 1988 and beyond. Now, I was down there in 1988, and it was really when this was all starting. The crime in King's Cross has always been there. But here's the trippy part. They actually mentioned my boss. Now, I won't say his last name, but his first name was Steve, and he owned 3 of the clubs down there at the time, and the Love Machine was one of them. Now, I used to be one of these pains in the bum that used to stand on the door at the club trying to get people to come inside, and I also doubled as one of the bouncers as well. So I went on from there after that. Now, I was down there for a year. I only lived there for a year. And then I decided I missed Coolum too much, so I moved back here. But in watching this, I was down there in 1988. It's kind of a trip though, because just I didn't know much of any of the people in the show, but I thought it was a bit of a trip. And I was a bit of a naughty boy when I was down there. Got into some crazy stuff and did some crazy things and that, and you wouldn't believe it, would you? But yeah, I was a bit average when I was a teenager. I was always in trouble. But anyway, getting back to this, it was just a trip to be able to hear Steve's name come up in the conversation amongst the Underbelly series. It was kind of cool. It took me right back. And watching the whole series, because I was there for sort of like 88 into early 89, and a lot of the clubs and the scenes and the footage and that. And it was funny because I went back to King's Cross. It was just, I think it would have been going back 10 years now. Anyway, there's a very famous old drag queen down there by the name of Carmen. Now, I don't even know if Carmen was there, but this was years later. Anyway, it was like 10 years later that I actually went back there, and I was down there, and it was really funny. I come across Carmen. And do you know, and this is a drag queen, prostitute drag queen, it works on William Street. Do you know the memory of that person is just amazing? She knew me by my first name. No one really knew my last name down there. I was just Darren, I used to work on the door. But it was just a trip. And I've actually got a photo, and I was going through albums today trying to find that photo, and if I find it I'll put it up on another video. But it's actually a picture of me sitting down having a yak with Carmen. I got my photo taken because it's quite a spectacular you know, a drag queen down there. It was quite funny actually, and not that I'm into the drag queen scene or anything like that, but it was one of those people that I knew as passing by, because when you're working on the doors in those places, you've always got something, you know, walking by, and you got to know people. So it was really funny because they've got the cafe in their Sweetheart, and that's where I used to get my hot chocolate. I've never been a coffee drinker, but I used to get my hot chocolate across the road there, and it's pretty much opposite where I used to work. But anyway guys, that was just a bit of a trippy story. So now I've got the rest of the Underbelly series here. Now the reason why I'm watching Underbelly now is because when it all first came out, I know it was all the rage and everyone was into it. This Underbelly Razor, Underbelly Uncut, that's the whole Melbourne one with Carl Williams and all that, and then Underbelly A Tale of Two Cities, which is going right back into the 70s. Now the reason why I'm watching them all now is because I've never actually seen them before. To be honest with you, this is the first time that I've actually seen them, because when they first came out, they were all the rage. I was so busy with work and that I remember trying to sit down and watch it and just kept missing it. And I thought, oh, I'll catch up with it. So today I actually sat down and watched back to back every single episode. Well, I started yesterday, or last night, and watched through till late last night, and then got up, and so I didn't do any work today. I was a bit naughty, but yeah, it was pretty trippy. Anyway, just thought I'd just bring that up and just share that with you guys, because that's a bit of a story from my past. So that's it, guys. That's all I wanted to tell you, is that little story tonight. So yeah, can't claim I was part of the Underbelly or anything like that, but I definitely worked down there when it was all sort of starting to take place in the whole investigation. Yeah, if you haven't had a chance to see it, Underbelly, the Golden Mile, definitely worth a watch. Alright guys, talk to you soon.